Hey, good morning, everybody. Mark Harrington here. We're in front of the United States Supreme Court, and forgive me for my voice right now. I've been struggling with a cold for about 5 days, and no, it's not COVID. I already had COVID, so I'm all good. I'm good there, but it's been rough for me a little bit. But hopefully, you can bear with my voice here. But we're in front of the Supreme Court at 9 o'clock this morning. The justices will be hearing the Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization case that could be the very case to overturn Roe v. Wade, which is what we're hoping for. You have to understand whether Roe falls or stands, we will continue to do what we do. But this could be a big turning point in our movement. And we are praying and working for that outcome, that they would overturn Roe and turn it back to the state legislatures. And I'm really looking forward to that because we can fight on a local level, which is what we do anyway, but we can really marshal our resources in specific areas. So anyway, we're in front of the Supreme Court. We got a big crowd, pro-life sides on this side, pro-abortion sides on that side, and we have lined almost the entire street here in front of the Supreme Court, in between the Supreme Court and the U.S. Capitol, with abortion victim photography, as you can see behind me here, because the victims need to be represented. That's why we're here. The victims need represented at a case that involves them. Otherwise, what's the point? You know, this isn't about women as important as it is to talk about how it affects women. This is about babies, preborn children, which we've lost over 60 million since Roe versus Wade was handed down. So anyway, I'm here with Lexi Hall, and I wanted to get your impression. We've been here a couple days. Yesterday, we were out on the street. Tell us how the week's been going so far.
Yeah, it's been going really well. Yesterday we were out with the Jumbotron, which is always a good thing, showing Washington, D.C., the victims of abortion, not only photos, but also videos, which is really powerful. There were a ton of cars driving by yesterday during outreach, and we also had the streets lined with our A-frame signs as well. I know that we have the airplane tow banner also flying around, so it's all very exciting.
Now, keep in mind, we can't fly in the district because of the no-fly zone rules, but we're in like Baltimore, we're in Silver Spring, we're in Virginia, we're in Maryland, all of as close as we can get, because we want everybody in this area to know what's happening here today. We're using this as an opportunity. It's a platform, to get the word out and educate more Americans. So that's why we're here. Yesterday, the Jumbotron right on Capitol Hill, right in front, Constitution and Pennsylvania Avenue. We were at Planned Parenthood in the morning, prayer vigil last night. We also had some fun. What did we do?
Oh, we went to the Lincoln Memorial. I was wondering.
Try to throw in a little bit of, tourist activity,
It's always good.
It's always good. So the Lincoln Memorial is always a moving opportunity. So we'll be here for a couple hours. As someone who, Roe v. Wade, you were born, it was law. It's been law for 20 some years, all your life. What would it mean if it was overturned to you?
Well, it's kind of unimaginable, honestly, to think about what that would actually be like. But I'm ready for that. That'd be so awesome. I just kind of can't comprehend that, though,
Right.
I'm
afraid that, somebody said last night that if Roe was overturned, they thought a lot of the pro-life movement would just kind of go away.
Huh.
I sure hope that's not the case. I sure hope the opposite is of that fact. I can tell you this isn't going to change one thing for us. We're going to keep fighting.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of young people here. We got a group of some 20 of us here representing the victims. Thanks, Lexi.
Yeah, thank you.
Also, Eric Scheidler's with me. Eric, jump in here, will you? Eric's one of our partners here with Citizens for Pro-Life Society, Pro-Life Action League. We're lining the streets here with abortion victims. Eric, give us your take on what's going on.
Well, first of all, I'm really pleased to see how large of a pro-life crowd is out here today. Washington, D.C. is a very, very progressive place.
Yeah.
And for a lot of these kind of hearings that are less maybe, high profile, we get outnumbered here. Just here in D.C., not across the country, but in just this weird location. But today we see a gigantic pro-life crowd, and that's very encouraging. That means that people have come from all over. I was just watching a Mississippi television station that's out here, and they found some Mississippi citizens who were here rallying for life, and we're able to talk to them. So people have come from all over the United States. It's really gratifying to know that this is an issue of national concern to the pro-life movement, because if the Supreme Court does what they ought to do, what they logically have to do, what they morally are required to do, and what makes sense for just basic natural law and justice, and overturn Roe versus Wade, that means that in every one of the 50 states and this heinous District of Columbia, we are going to need pro-life people to really apply pressure to the politicians for really the first time ever. We've been nibbling at the margins of abortion for almost 50 years. And I don't want to in any way downplay the value of every single life saved. Measures like parental involvement laws, measures like taxpayer bans on funding abortion, informed consent, ultrasound opportunity acts, all kinds of laws will save babies. In the state of Illinois, where I'm from, we've saved thousands of babies over the past 8 years through a parental notice law that's just been repealed, and thousands more are now going to die because of that measure. But when it comes to really defending unborn life and banning abortion, will our politicians who've been talking a good line, and many of them we know are deeply committed, many of them we suspect are really just saying what the voters want to hear, will they really have the heart to ban abortion? That's going to depend really on us. Will we make it politically necessary for them to take those measures that will end legal abortion state by state by state by state?
So, hey, listen, folks, we're in front of the Supreme Court. Let me just get your take on why it's important we're here and why they're here. Why do we bring the victims? We're the only ones that bring them most of the time. They're the primary victim, right? I mean, this is what this is all about. We're here. You're here with me, Citizens for a Life Society. I'm just glad we're here. You know, why is that so important?
Well, you know, as bizarre as it seems to you and me, and I'm sure to many who are watching, somehow the unborn child is the forgotten entity here.
How is that possible?
We talk about the effect that abortion has on women. That makes sense to do. Of course, we should talk about that. We talk because it's only the desperation of a woman in a difficult situation that leads her to contemplate something as horrific as allowing the dismemberment of her own son or daughter in this horrific act of violent injustice. We talk about the effect that abortion has on the Republican Party or on the Democrat Party or on the Supreme Court justices and where they can go and have dinner. We talk about how it affects fundraising, but we aren't looking at how it affects these little children.
Well, your father was a pioneer of this tactic. You know, it's just logical. It's common sense. You would think that the victims should be represented in a case that involves them.
You know, sometimes people. I mean, I hate to be critical, especially in a moment like this where we really are on the brink of a tremendous possibility here. You know, sometimes it sounds as if the problem with abortion is that it sometimes makes women sad. It is a horrible thing, but the reason that it makes women sad and regretful and shameful, and that they go through years of self-recrimination and finally need therapy to overcome it. The reason that even pro-choice people will say they don't appreciate late-term abortion, that they're uncomfortable with it, that they want to make abortion rare, like they used to sometimes say. The reason for all of that is that abortion takes the life of an innocent, beautiful child of God in the womb, in the place. And think about this, Mark. This is the thing that I always come back to. The womb, a woman's womb, the mother's womb, is the one place in the entire universe that is designed for an unborn child to be safe, protected, coddled, fed, nurtured, place for them to grow in quiet and in darkness. And that's the place that's become a place of death. Yeah. It's the most horrific upheaval and overturning of reality itself that exists in the world. We have to show that reality. We have to show that reality.
Yeah, and abortion harms women because abortion kills children. I mean, that's the reason. So,
you know, I was thinking our friend Monica. We should hear.
If we could get Monica, that'd be great. Monica. That's what I mean. Can you find Monica Miller if you would? If you can, it's fine.
She was you know, the photographer of many of these photographs that are on display. Yeah. If you take that picture Are you going to not develop it?
Right.
Are you going to not, having developed it, show it to somebody and say,
Right.
look what's happening?
Well, you know, there are people who say, well, it's it dehumanizes the unborn by using the photographs of the babies. I think the
Abortion dehumanizes the
exactly. I think the opposite is actually true because it humanizes them in that they see their broken bodies. They know they're human.
Yeah.
Their lives were not taken in vain entirely.
Did it dehumanize that slave whose back we've seen, rippled with the lash? Did it dehumanize Emmett Till to see his
abortion dehumanized them? It's just one of those lousy arguments we often hear. So
well, people are looking; they're desperate for a reason not to show these pictures, including a lot of pro-life people. So they say, "Well, it will scare children." You know, you might think I'm nuts, but I feel like I'm pretty psychologically healthy. I've been looking at these pictures since I was 6 years old. My children,
still seem to be all right.
My dad had 27 grandchildren. They all grew up looking at these pictures. You know, children are saddened when they see these pictures because children are decent.
Yeah.
They should be sad.
Yeah.
If a child cries,
they look at them and go, what happened to the baby, mommy? You know, it's like they get it.
People who don't cry when they see these pictures. That's what's really horrifying. Yeah.
So Eric Charlie's been with me. Eric, thanks for stopping by. God bless you. Hey, Monica, come here. Our partners in this, Monica Miller, Citizens for a Pro-Life Society and Pro-Life Action League, and Created Equal here. We've lined the street in front of the U.S. Supreme Court. Monica, give your take on what's happening here, what you think of things going on.
Well, first of all, I am pleasantly surprised that there are a lot more of us than there are of them. I'll be honest with you. I thought it was going to be completely the reverse. I thought we were going to get swamped with very aggressive, very obscene, very vocal. You know, when we were planning.
What do you account that to? Do you have any ideas?
I think that we just were better organized. We're more motivated. We're on fire. We know that something very important could possibly happen here, and it got the people out.
Yeah.
And I remember when we were planning.
You would think that would do the same for them, though.
You would, but maybe in the end, there simply are more of us than there are of them. And, you know, it's only been on a very rare occasion, frankly, that they've overwhelmed us. And when they do it, I don't mind saying they're very good at it.
Yeah, there's a big crowd here, folks. I mean, there's probably maybe 1,000 of us here. They've divided the plaza in half. Put the pro-abortion people on that side, pro-life people on this side. We've got the street lined with abortion victims.
I have to also say that our presence here is very diverse.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, you know, there's Latinos for life, and there's atheists for life, and the evangelicals are here, and the Catholics are here, and all kinds of different groups. I mean, so there's a lot of diversity among the pro-lifers, and that's also a good thing.
Well, thanks for partnering with us.
Thank you.
All right, Monica. Now listen, we're going to take a walk. I said I wasn't going to do this, but we're going to take a walk. I want folks to get a look at. You can make that into a or a monopod by closing those or not. All right. So let us through here, if you would. Let us through here. I just want everybody to get a look at our display. All right. So we're going to go this way, if you would. All right, so turn it around a little bit. So, excuse me. So if you look, here we are. We're lining the street here. U.S. Capitol's right there. Take a look at it. So you kind of get an idea of the lay of the land here. Come on down this way. Everybody that's all my friends are here. So if you see, we're lining the street here with the abortion victim photography. Hey, David, how you doing, brother? All right. All of our folks, we brought around 20 of us here, all our young people. Some of them staff, some former justice writers, other interns and so forth. Come on down. Lining the whole street. The victims are being represented well today. That's the reason we're here. So come on down. Keep coming. Keep coming. All right. So keep coming. Sorry about that. Excuse me. So you can see we're all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Got it all covered. We probably have about 75 signs out here. Then you got the Supreme Court behind us. This is the pro-abortion side, pro-life side on that side. All right, come on back. So let's just set up right here. Put this in the background. Go ahead over here, right here. Go over here. Get it out of the sun. All right. I'm going to wrap it up here, but just want to understand what we're dealing with here. Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization. There are 3 possible outcomes here, folks, maybe 4. The first would be a full overturning of Roe v. Wade. And in that case, it would go completely back to the states. The U.S. Supreme Court would be out of the business for now of dealing with the constitutionality of abortion until another case comes before them. Now, I assume right now, pro-abortion activists are already preparing cases to be brought to the federal courts if Roe were overturned to try to get another case like it on the so they could once again institute the abortion right as a constitutional right. My fear is eventually they might get it or find it in the Equal Protection Clause. But either way, a full overturn of Roe. Second could be they just degrade Roe and come up with another standard, which would be something other than viability. And then the third, which would be the worst case altogether, is that they would uphold Roe v. Wade and strike down the Mississippi case. So out of those, I think the first two are most likely. But we're not going to be reading the tea leaves here. We can't tell. We will be listening closely today at 9 o'clock. We'll be able to hear the oral arguments, and you can do that yourself if you want. You can go online and listen to the justices debate with the attorneys. So things are heating up here right now. Again, we're at the U.S. Supreme Court. We'll come back to you later with a full report. Thanks for praying for us this weekend, or this week, as we're out here representing the victims with our Created Equal team. God bless you.